In this specific video, I'm going to show you how to give people an opportunity to share your site socially and easily. Now, there are many different ways to put social sharing buttons on your WordPress site, posts, and pages. But you want to make sure that it's easily accessible, because when somebody's looking through your content and they really like it and they want to share it, but if it takes them time to do it, then you're going to lose out on a lot of people who want to share your content. So you want to make sure that it's easily accessible to them, and that's why I recommend in this specific video that you use social share buttons that basically float as somebody scrolls down. And when I say float, they're basically going to see a box that floats with them as they look through your content. So let's go ahead and get started and install the plugin, and I'll show you what it looks like. Now, if we go to WordPress.org and go under plugins and click on the search box here and type in Dig, it's a specific floating share bar, as you can see here. So imagine I'm scrolling down, and as I'm scrolling down, I'm able to see these social sharing buttons. It just makes life easier for people. So now that you see it, let's go ahead and install it. So what you need to do is hop on over to your WordPress dashboard, go under plugins and do a search for that specific plugin. So dig, search plugins, and this is it. Click installed now. Click OK. Let's proceed. Enter your FTP username and password. And click on Activate Plugin. Now that that's done, let's go ahead and customize the settings. So click on Dig. It's split up into global configuration settings, normal display, and floating display. We're going to be working with the floating display. So first things first, you have to configure it though. And this is where you enter your details. So Facebook like configuration. You have several different options. You can show faces. You can use post images in Facebook wall thumbnail, and so forth. In this case, we're going to leave it blank because we just want to keep it simple. And that's what I recommend. The more simpler it is for somebody to see, okay, Facebook like it, and that's it. It's just less distractions. Now, with Dig, it provides you with a lot of different options. However, I'd recommend to keep it simple. Twitter, you can enter your Twitter account here, your Twitter username here, your Flattr username here if you have a Flattr account. Tweet me, and I'd suggest if you don't have these accounts, just go ahead and go to these sites and create these accounts. And if we go to floating display, you can enable floating display. I want it to float. I don't really want the normal display because I want it to float, and that's the whole concept here. Now you can choose it to display on posts or pages. Now by default, only posts will be chosen, but I want posts or pages. And it really depends on how your content is laid out. For example, if you're going to put all your content as posts, you might want to just check the posts here. But I'm going to put posts and pages. You can also choose how far to the left of the content Dig is placed, because obviously you don't want to cover your content up. So you might want to tweak it and test it. I'm going to say 50, well actually to the left. So if my content is here, you need to know where your content is, and then let's just say, I'll say 20. Because you don't want to put it too far to the left, otherwise it'll go past the window. And choose how far from the top the content Dig is initially placed. I'll say 10 pixels. from the top down. Click Save Changes. And the button selection here is just customizing the buttons that you want to display. So we've got Twitter, Reddit, Google Buzz, and as you can see, there's a ton of buttons. But I'm going to go through here. I want Twitter, let's see, Buffer, Google Buzz, StumbleUpon. We'll do Facebook, Likes. I want Google Plus, LinkedIn, Delicious, and so forth. Now, what I would recommend is keep it minimal to Facebook, Google, and Twitter. You can add more if you want to, but the problem with adding more is it clutters the left-hand side. And if it clutters and distracts somebody, while it does give people more opportunity, it can be distracting and annoying. So you don't want to annoy your visitors, and that's the last thing you want to do. So that's why I keep emphasizing, keep it simple. Even though there's so many options here, keep it simple. Okay, so that's that. And once that is done, what it'll do is it'll automatically add it to your posts and pages. So if I go to posts and all posts, I've created a post here, and you don't have to do anything to the post itself. It actually adds itself to the post. But if I view the post, I can see what it looks like. So as you can see here, we've got tweets, Buffer, StumbleUpon, Google Plus, LinkedIn, and more. Now we kind of have to play with this a little bit. We can see that it's kind of moved up to the top. So I might want to go back to Dig under the floating display and possibly push it down. It says choose how far from the top. Okay, so I might want to put something larger here. And you can just simply play around with it until it looks decent and good to go. Now we're good to go, and that's it. Just keep in mind, keep it simple. Less distracting is better than more distracting.